You know how what what was that? What was that, Faith? What was that start? What? I don't know if I can do this. I really don't know if I can do this. I'm sorry. Why am I that ugly in camera? Okay, let's try this again. Alright, so this is gonna be uncut. First video around. I just created this channel, so let's try it, okay? I created this channel basically because I want to put my voice out there. Like, have you ever just had that random feeling, or just that random thing of your thoughts just running in your head rent free? Either like your past mistakes creeping up on you, the regrets and stuff, or just the future endeavors that haven't even happened yet, like creeping up on you, right? And it's essentially, apparently, they call it overthinking. If you do it a lot, same. So, let's talk about it, shall we? No edits, no filters, just plain voices. Okay, so essentially, ever since I was a kid, my concept was that I have always been an overthinker. I overthink a lot, especially in like minor decisions in life. Like, let's say, what flavor of toothpaste am I gonna put in my mouth when I was a kid? That was how bad I was. But then I noticed that in terms of major decisions, like, let's say, should I transfer schools next year? I don't even think about those. I just say, hey, this school is pretty cool, and that's what I did. I transferred to another school. You see how the mind tricks you into something? Like, minor decisions are like life and death, and then major decisions are just, sorry, there was a car passing by. Major decisions are just like, oh, you only live once, YOLO. Like, it keeps repeating upon those things. And what I realized upon reflecting the other day, while I was driving home, was that our mind really is an enigma, isn't it? Like, it is very fascinating how our mind can trick us, especially in those scenarios. And in terms of overthinking, you can literally make up scenarios that 9 times out of 10 won't even happen because we worry too much. And I struggle with that a lot, especially in decisions in life that I needed to do. Like, because, like driving, for example, that was a perfect scenario right there. I don't know why I lagged in real life. I'm sorry. I used to fear driving because of the things I see on the internet. And obviously, the internet is one of the major things that we have right now. And because of that, I used to hate, or like just attempting to drive. Like, I don't want to attempt to drive. So this fear like built up over time and over time, until I just said one day, you know what? Let's do it. Even I'm scared as shit. Oh, sorry, YouTube. I am afraid, but let's try it. What can go wrong? And then I actually did better than I was expecting, even though I was nervous. And I'm telling you, I was very nervous to even attempt to drive. And it's one of those things where, as soon as I reflected upon it, I was like, yeah, I was still learning. Like, why was I so afraid in like the beginning? And it made me realize that overthinking really gets us in our most vulnerable state. Like, it builds up that fear. But then, as soon as you try something, that fear eventually goes away. Not eventually, it goes away sooner rather than later, because again, you attempted it. You tried it, right? So this process of us overthinking is just, I mean, it's a horrible thing. It's not a great experience. But at the end of the day, as we grow older, this creeps us on us more and more. Great English there. This creeps on us more and more, and it essentially stops us to try things, to attempt things. Thus, I just told myself, yeah, I'm scared, but let's do it. Let's try it. Like, I've been overthinking about a lot of things. But this week I have tried a lot of things that I have not done in a while, since I've had the time. And I've actually, like this one, like this YouTube channel right here, I'm afraid that, like, no one will see it, or like no one wants to watch me just yap nonsense. But at the end of the day, if you're an overthinker like me, take it this way, okay? Yes, there is no like immediate way to combat overthinking. Like there's videos obviously on YouTube, like the breathing techniques, like mindfulness. Just try to go back, or just try to remember that you are in the present, focus on the present, don't focus too much on the past, build up from the past, and then, as well as, do not worry too much about the future, because that's what we do. We worry too much, or we regret too much. But what I found is, even though there is no immediate way to combat overthinking, there is such a thing as this simple saying: if you fail because you tried, that means you progress. If you failed because you tried, that means you progressed. You already beat the fear that overthinking gave you, that your mind gave you, essentially. And trust me, what is not terrifying at first attempt? I can't think of a single one. At first attempt. Okay? Everything is terrifying when we try it for the first time. It's all about just getting used to it. We get used to it, because eventually that fear that builds up in our heads, like that scene in Inside Out 2. If you know, you know what I'm talking about, right? Once it builds up on you, it will control you. And once you do, for me, that is real failure. If we quit. Okay? So, my final thoughts will be, no matter what happens, trust me, regret is a much bigger, and I mean bigger, definition of what it is in overthinking than failure in trying. Because once we try something, we failed, that's good, because we are improving, we are learning. But if we do not try it in the first place, if we do not attempt things in the first place, like things that make us happy, because we overthink what other people might tell us, or what other people might think of us, overthink that this might not work because something bad might happen, which, again, the things are the scenarios we build in our heads. 9 times out of 10, those do not convey. Not 100%, but 9 times out of 10. We think of the worst case scenario. And that comes from me, because I used to think that overthinking was good. I'm not even gonna lie. I used to think that overthinking is the same as being prepared, because I used to overthink of the worst case scenario. I took up a profession that is essentially, one of the most noble professions out there. My English is not Englishing right now. I do apologize. And I overthought about it a lot. It came to the point where I was afraid to attempt things, to try things in this profession of mine. And I always thought of the worst case scenario. Just what's the worst that could happen? And I felt like I would be prepared for it. But turns out, preparedness and thinking of the worst case scenario for it is not the same thing. Like, it's better to go into something, detach from the expectations, and go from there. That's my honest take. Regret lives rent free in our heads until the day that we are going to be buried 6 feet under. But failure in attempting, that means you are already stronger than what you thought you were. Trust me. If you try something, if you're afraid of something, well, unless it's like a very dangerous thing, or like, you'll hurt someone, then obviously don't try it. But if it makes you happy, no one gets hurt, no matter what other people might say, And trust me on this, it doesn't matter what you do, people will always say something about you, right? I mean, look at me. I'm not the most good looking guy in the world. And yet I try to attempt things that in regards to it. Okay? People judge me just based from appearance. But that's all what people do. Okay? That's what people talk about. So do not try to hop on that. Alright? So this is my first attempt of an upload. I really hope I don't know if anyone stuck until the very end, because it's already almost 11 minutes. So yeah, I hope that I can upload more of this, because I want to get my thoughts out there. Just unfiltered thoughts of me, I guess, yapping of nonsense. And I guess that's the point of the channel anyway, because I want to speak my I want to speak what's in my head. So yeah, this is going to be my first one. If you want more, I guess like and subscribe. It sounds so cringe. I'm very sorry. But yeah, if you have any thoughts as well, I guess put it in the comment section. If you saw it, or if you saw this video, stumbled upon this video, I'm sorry that I just yap nonsense, but it's what the channel is. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good one. Again, this channel is going to be just me, no filters, just thoughts. Alright, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great day ahead, and remember, please always stay true to yourself, be kind to everyone. Okay? Thank you so much, everyone.